So here's a statistic that might not surprise you. 89% of wealthy pre-retirees say they're pretty confident they've saved enough for a comfortable retirement. And 74% believe they know how long their money is going to last them.
Here's the question, are they right? Here to talk about it is Omaha's retirement strategist, Darrell Bryant. Darrell is one of the area's leading financial advisors and retirement planners. He also hosts his very own weekly retirement radio show on 1110 KFAB.
Darrell, it's Wednesday. You're back. Welcome.
Hump day, right?
Yes,
Right.
it is. It doesn't seem like it's Wednesday already, but here you are. All right. Well, it doesn't seem too surprising that wealthy pre-retirees are pretty confident that they have enough money for retirement. So tell us your reaction to this.
Well, I would say this. First of all, let's define wealthy. There's well-to-do, there's rich, etc. So let's talk about what wealthy is. In Omaha, Nebraska, we have a very high millionaire per capita, population. And I can tell you this. 7-figure savers that come into the office are not necessarily sure they're not going to run out of money, because it's always a relationship between what you have in terms of a lump sum, what you have in terms of guaranteed income streams like Social Security, cash rents, etc. And then what's the difference? So the guy that has 7-figure income but he needs $200,000 per year, well, that's not a very good relationship at all, is it? Right. So depends. And so always, when people come into the office, the number one question I would say is, am I going to run out of money? The math is always the same when people come in. We're just pushing numbers around, in other words. You have something that you need, your income need might be very high, but we're always doing the same formula, and that's why we have our software to determine that. But they do have some very specific needs at that point of retirement or that point of life if you have amassed, a good number of dollars.
Well, and they're probably living slightly different lifestyle than some of the rest of us. But what are some of the common problems that the wealthy retirees run into as they enter retirement phase? I
would say number one is tax planning. Your entire tax landscape changes when you have a lot of money laying around. And for example, you're going to want to be more concerned about the income that you have coming in. And is this going to take me into a higher tax bracket? So you're going to be cognizant of tax thresholds, right? You begin to do some things like Roth conversions. You might start thinking in terms of the number one thing that we encourage people to do is if we have it made, so to speak, you're going to be able to do what everybody else dreams of doing. You're going to have the lifestyle that you wanted, etc. In fact, I can see by way of our software that we're just going to keep on rolling up dollars. I mean, this is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger year over year. Well, that's a good thing. Now let's start talking about estate expansion. Let's start talking about creating the crown jewel of your life. Let's have the kids one day say, Mom and Dad lived well, saved well, planned well, and then left us, an estate that we can continue to, in other words, we're going to start creating some old money here, right? If you handle that, but you have to do the math first to determine if you're in that bucket of people or not, right?
So what other mistakes are you seeing wealthy retirees or pre-retirees making?
I would say number one is just kind of thinking they got it made, and then the same line of thinking applies to the wealthy retiree as does the average retiree. So we're still going to do the same math. Again, we're still going to make sure that we have the income streams coming in. I think there's a lot of frivolous spending among people that have a lot of money, and then they don't realize how long their money can last if they continue on that vein. So, and probably the number one thing is not anticipating what the tax burden is going to be going into retirement. It's just going to be, it's an enormous thing. For the average person, it's a third of their, 1/3 of their expenses is taxes. For the wealthier retiree, well, now we're in a whole nother ball of
we talked about that a few weeks ago, the tax stuff, and I mean, it's something that I would have never thought of. If you want to see that interview, by the way, you can always check that out on our website.
Well, I always think about the example you brought us a few weeks ago with Johnny Depp and his, what was it, $30,000 wine budget per month or something like that. So you got to tuck those things down. So basically, bottom line here, everyone should have a retirement plan, even those who have plenty of money. So if they truly want a successful retirement, they can really set things up with you. Let's talk about the special offer that you brought in for our viewers.
I don't know. What did we do this week? I don't know. Let's ask Sarah, my daughter.
Here you go.
She'll know.
The first 10 callers who are nearing retirement or already retired will receive a custom retirement plan. Give them a call at 402-932-2141. 1. Now, I don't know if I've asked you this question before, Darrell, but I am curious. What is the most rewarding part of your job in helping people, prepare for retirement? Why did you want to get into this field?
That's a great question.
I'm putting you on the spot here.
No, I love the question because when we do retirement planning, let's talk about the average person that has pretty decent savings. They come into the office, they're wanting to generate income. They wonder if they can pull this thing off. Can we do it? We want to go in a year. We want to go in 3 years, whatever the number is. And then sitting across the conference table, collecting all the information that we need, and finally getting into our software, running numbers and going through things with them, and then watching the edge of the seat, can we pull this off? Have we really done enough? And more commonly, they can do more than they thought they could do. And so to see that stress level go from a very high stress level to literally edge of their seat to, oh my gosh, honey, we could do that, we can do it.
Yeah.
And you'll see that we've had people cry at the conference table when they find out what they can do and that they really have it made. It's a beautiful transition if you do the math. Do the math.
If you're in that retirement red zone, give Darrell a call. That's where to find him, 402-932-2141, dbryantRetirementStrategies.com. Good information for everybody, no matter what your income level is. Planning, you got to plan if you want to get there.
You do.
So thank you so much, Darrell.
Thank you. We'll see you in a week.
All right, guests of the morning.